Welcome back to QrepubliC. Today is September 1st, 2021, Wednesday. Late buying pushes stocks 1% higher. Stocks recovered at the close of trading yesterday to start the shortened week in the green. During yesterday's session, foreigners were net buyers and we're on the 6-day streak and received 390.10 million pesos per day. Market fell down by as much as 135 points, but losses were reversed on last-minute buying, said AB Capital Securities. Leading the gainers were SM, ICT, and AEV. Philstock's financial analyst Jafet Tanchanko said last-minute buying sent the local market higher as investors priced in the wider economic losses brought by the extension of the strict quarantine measures in the National Capital Region and in other areas of the country. For our local headlines today, World Health Organization says Delta, now dominant coronavirus variant in Philippines, confirms community transmission. Citing the latest whole genome sequencing report of the Philippine health authorities, nearly 70% of the COVID-19 samples were attributed to the Delta variant, said Abea Singhe. Philippines expects 54.5 million COVID-19 vaccines in next 2 months, according to Galvez. 25 million doses will be delivered in September and 29.5 million doses will arrive in October. And these vaccines are Sinovac, Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, and the newly approved Sputnik Light. PH banks are resilient despite weak economy, according to Moody's. Despite the spike in non-performing loans in the past 18 months, rated Philippines banks maintain sufficient buffers to cover new loan losses after proactively increasing loan. World Health Organization monitoring new coronavirus variant named MU or MU. The WHO said the variant has mutations that indicate a risk of resistance to vaccines and stressed that further studies were needed to better understand it. In other news, European markets set for positive open after inflation data rattles sentiment. London, Germany, and France are seen higher during the market opening. The positive open comes after markets were rattled yesterday due to this estimation of 3% increase in CPI this month, which is above the 2% expectation of the European Central Bank. Shares in Asia Pacific were mostly higher in Wednesday trade, as a private survey showed shrinking Chinese factory activity in August, which is coming at 50.1 against July's reading of 50.4. US stock futures were slightly higher overnight after the S&P 500 notched a 7-month win streak in August. Investors are focused on August US non-farm payrolls data, which is scheduled to be released later this week, for insight into the possible path of Fed's monetary policy. For our international headlines, COVID could trigger a spike in dementia cases, says Alzheimer's experts. Microsoft's first major operating system in 6 years, Windows 11 launches October 5th. Walmart to hire 20,000 supply chain employees as it ramps up for the holidays. Delta Airlines doubles flight attendant hiring target to 3,000. And CDC, nearly 1 million COVID booster shots have already been administered in the United States. For our PSEI today, we closed at 6,785.94 and we made a bearish candlestick accompanied by an above average volume. Hence, may selling pressure po tayong now observe. Pero ang good news naman is that we are still trading near our upper border, and sa ating net foreign indicator, selling man tayo today, hindi naman siya ganun kalaki. So hence, meron tayong strength na na-observe pa rin dito sa ating market. Sa ating news kanina, gain ang ating counterpart sa Asia Pacific and ganoon din sa European and US market. So globally, maganda naman yung takbo ng market despite of the pandemic and yung bagong variant nga na nakita natin sa ating headlines kanina na Mu. Nabigyan na rin tayo ng figure ng paparating na vaccine this September and October, although by the end of the month pa siya ng September. Pero kung matatandaan natin sa news natin kahapon, siya yung ating key para ma-meet yung forecast ng ating analysts to end the year above 7,000 level sa ating PSEI. With that, we can continue to follow this uptrend channel as our guide. And kagaya ng advice natin kahapon, take advantage on every dip na gagawin ng ating market, especially pag napunta pa tayo sa lower border ng ating uptrend channel where the bargain hunting may happen. So let us continue to monitor our market, be wiser than we are yesterday, and continue to invest for our future. For AC Energy, if napanood nyo yung video po natin kahapon, we had advised yung mga gustong magdagdag ng shares kay ACEN habang nasa 9.60 area pa tayo kasi we have anticipated yung pagtaas ni ACEN today. Currently, naka-breakout na po tayo sa 9.60 resistance natin and got blocked sa ating upper border ng ating uptrend channel. And konti na lang din po, mabe-breakout na natin yung ating all-time high around 10.10 area. With a good volume and support from our investors dito sa ating net foreign indicator, we are speculating a new trend that may be formed possible tomorrow or within the week kasi we have a strong momentum, and aside sa bullish candlestick natin today, meron tayong nakikitang bullish pattern which is yung morning star. We can still add more shares dito kay AC Energy kasi we can still see an upward move sa kanya, and more on hold din po yung pwede natin maging options para kay AC Energy. For Apollo Global, kahapon we have identified some red flags that may prohibit sa pag-break sa ating resistance at 0.11. However, we still broke it today, and we have a good volume as well. Pero doji candlestick tayo. Re-evaluating itong si Apollo Global despite sa mga na-identify nating red flags kahapon sa video natin, market still managed to push the price up. Hence, meron tayo nakikitang support from the market despite nga po ng ating mga red flags. Though doji candlestick tayo today, which signifies ng indecision, somewhat meron tayong initial indicator na nakikita that we could be able to sustain itong ating 0.11 area. So, need po natin abangan yung candlestick natin tomorrow and see what will be the decision of the market kung patuloy ba nating i-maintain itong ating 0.11 area. For ICT, currently yung range natin is nasa all-time high, and isa po itong si ICT sa nagpataas sa ating market kahapon base na nga rin po sa news natin. As of the moment, meron po tayong na-observe na consolidation in the short term with a low of 177.30 area. So from August 16, hindi na po tayo bumababa dyan sa low na yan, which is good kasi isa siyang sign ng ating strength. Good trend din yung pwede nating ma-observe base dito sa ating moving averages, which is the alignment of the stars in the stock terminology. More on green flags yung na-observe natin as of the moment. So even though nasa middle tayo ng sinet nating support and resistance, we can buy shares, but just bear in mind that we could have a possible dip at 170 peso area if ever. So you may want to reserve some buying power if by any chance kung sakaling decided tayong bumili ng shares dito kay ICT. For SM, we are currently at our resistance area and somewhat we can say at the upper border of our sideways move. With our current run, we can see an uptrend channel in the short term as we are creating higher lows from August 17th, which is a sign of a strength. Medyo tricky nga lang yung mga candlesticks na nakikita natin kasi mixed of bullish and bearish siya. And somehow, mapapaisip tayo kung kakayanin ba natin i-breakout itong 990 peso area. And also, we can see some short-term uptrend channel then recently which did not materialize. Kasi ngayon, uptrend channel tayo pero kung titingnan natin, nag-uptrend channel din tayo before pero bumaba pa rin yung price natin. On this instance, more on observation muna yung pwede natin gawin if we want to be on the safe side. But if we are willing to take the risk, say papasok pa lang tayo dito kay SM, more on test buy lang muna yung pwede natin gawin, then add na lang tayo pag naging comfortable na tayo sa takbo ni SM. And para din, meron tayong pang average down sa lower area in case man na ma-breakdown pa rin natin itong ating uptrend channel. For DNL, we can see a sideways move from 7.77 to 8.55 area, or on the other perspective, second Darvas box that we are currently filling in from this one. And in the long term naman, meron tayong nakitang uptrend channel. And for today, we created a bullish candlestick with a relatively low volume. As of the moment, we are on the middle of our Darvas box, sideways move and uptrend channel. So medyo nasa mataas na area tayo. So kumbaga kahit anong perspective yung tingnan natin, medyo nasa mataas na area tayo. So if wala pa tayo na accumulate na shares on the lower area or papasok pa lang tayo kay DNL, more on test buy muna tayo sa kanya kasi hindi pa concrete yung strength na nakikita natin. Kasi kahit bullish candlestick siya, mababa naman yung binigay na volume ng ating market. If by tomorrow, we form a similar bullish candlestick with an opening price near dito sa ating closing price today, that could be a confirmation of sustaining our mid-trend line ng ating uptrend channel or yung pagtitrade natin above our midline. And pag nangyari yon, we can add more shares as we are possibly breaking itong 8.55 area soon. For Mart, more on strength ang ating na-observe as of the moment. We created a very bullish candlestick accompanied by a high volume today, plus breaking the sideways move and giving more weight dito sa ating uptrend channel. As early as now, we can add shares dito kay Mart kasi meron tayong initial confirmation in sustaining our key support at 3.84 area through the type of our candlestick today plus a high volume. We can also speculate that soon, should our momentum continue, we have a good chance in breaking this uptrend channel as well, and then hence, we are going to create a new trend. So more on hold din po yung pwede natin gawin as we are speculating a good move dito kay Mart. For Converge, we created a bullish candlestick today, re-challenging our all-time high at 32 peso area. Our uptrend channel remains intact and good sign of the trend can also be observed through our moving averages, which is the alignment of the stars in stock terminologies. As of the moment, more on hold pa rin po tayo dito kay Converge. And for the question na kung pwede ba tayo mag-add on its current range or pwede ba tayong bumili, sa mga nakapag-accumulate ng shares on its low price, pwede naman tayo bumili. Pero if papasok pa lang tayo dito kay Converge, more on test buy kasi medyo malayo na tayo sa ating key support. And para rin, if ever, meron tayong may pang-average down. For DMC, we formed a weak candlestick today as the market pushed the price down from our high at 6.54. Okay sana yung ganitong inverted hammer sa mga downtrend kasi it could signify ng reversal. Pero kasi sa case natin, more on uptrend yung galaw natin as of the moment. Moreover, very bearish yung candlestick natin kahapon and yung volume natin recently is very low din. Pero we are still rooting for the 6.19 to be our key support. So more on consolidation yung pwede nating ma-speculate sustaining itong 6.19 area. So if ever, dun tayo sa key support natin bibili ng shares as we are going on a possible correction. For Globe, we are still on correction and somewhat sustaining yung ating key support at 2,661 area. Our volume is getting low as well. So more likely, i-retouch natin tong ating key support area. So if ever, doon magandang bumili or magdagdag ng shares sa kanya. And since nasa record high pa rin tayo and trading above moving averages, so more on hold pa rin yung pwede nating ma-observe dito kay Globe. So titingnan natin sa mga darating na araw kung anong klaseng candlestick yung papakita ng market. Pero more likely, we are still seeing a possibility na i-hold natin tong 2,661 area. For PLDT, kahapon nasabi natin na because of our doji, one of our options is to sell some of our shares and repurchase sa low bandang moving average 9 or sa ating key support area. And today, it seems na yung momentum natin remains strong as we break our 1,466 resistance after dipping sa ating low na around 1,420 today. Though bumababa yung ating volume, pero it is still above average and very bullish yung candlestick na ginawa natin today. So we are looking on a possibility on having a new key support at 1,466 area with a resistance of 1,612 area. And possible din na i-discontinue natin itong ating Darvas box should our momentum continue. So more on hold pa rin po tayo and we can buy some shares then due to the current strength that we are seeing kay PLDT. For dito CME, kahapon tinitingnan natin yung possibility ng pag-breakdown natin at 8.14 support due to the bearish candlesticks that we had for the past 2 days. And then today, we created a bullish candlestick maintaining the 8.14 area but low volume and selling tayo dito sa ating net foreign indicator. Looking at our chart, we are still maintaining the uptrend channel, and if I may relate yung Globe and the PLDT, we also saw significant support ng market sa kanila. So I am thinking baka may continuation pa yung ating TELCO play. So going back dito CME, if nakatest buy tayo dito sa current range natin, more on hold na tayo, then we will wait sa ating candlestick tomorrow to see a better view if masusustain ba natin tong 8.14 area, kasi sa ngayon meron tayong initial sign, so kailangan na lang natin ng mga confirmation.
And that's it for today. Kung nagustuhan niyo po itong video na ito, please don't forget to like it and share it as well para mapagbigay insights din po tayo sa iba. And also, kung meron po kayong additional information or thoughts dito sa review na to, comment nyo lang po yan para makatulong din po or makapagbigay information din po tayo sa iba. At sa inyo po na gustong magpa-review ng kanilang mga stocks, comment nyo lang din po yan para maisama po natin sa ating next session. And sa mga bago pong nanonood ng video na ito, don't forget to subscribe para lagi po kayo maging updated sa mga bagong videos na nilalabas po natin. Maraming salamat po. I'll see you soon. QRepublic.